Welcome to the epic world of dog training. I am JT Lawson. I am the lead trainer at Make Your Dog Epic. I also own the Oklahoma locations for Make Your Dog Epic, where we turn your canine companions into truly epic dogs. Get ready for your daily doses of wisdom as we tackle your questions and unleash the secrets to mastering dog training. As always, our goal is to gain obedience, but never at the expense of the dog's personality. Can I have a kiss? Oh, thank you. Oh, good job. Can I have a kiss? Well, thank you. Oh, let's try again. Oh, what? One more? No? Okay.
All right, welcome back to the Make Your Dog Epic podcast. And on today's edition, we're joined with Tulsa Dog training expert JT Lawson. And we're talking about, can I train my dog by myself? Can I train my dog by myself? That is a question a lot of people ask is, why don't I just train the dog myself? JT, why should our listeners out there maybe not train their dog by themselves?
Yeah, because basically what you're going to do is you're going to go online to YouTube or download some training tools from some website, some videos, and it's going to give you stuff that looks really cool. Like, I won't use names, but there's a guy that everyone listening to this podcast knows. He has a TV show, but what he does in the show is not replicable. So it's not something that the average person can just next day go and do. So, and then also there's no governing body over dog training, so anyone can be a dog trainer. So when you go look at these YouTubers, even if they're certified or you're seeing good results, it's hard to figure out which ways actually work and which ones are effective. Because a lot of the ways they're doing it, you have to be very skilled to do it. So like our first lesson is 50 cents, so we can come out and tell you how we train. But I've gone out and this person had another trainer, so this is not just them doing it themselves, but a trainer came out for a day and gave them kind of a rundown. This is not an exaggeration, they were using a prong collar, a choke collar, a martingale collar, and a shock collar all in one, and a clicker and treats. So they were using all these tools, that's like 6 or 7 tools to train their dog, because this is what somebody learned. So I'm sure this person went to YouTube University and looked at all the different dog training ways and found a bunch of different things that look cool and like they work, but they're not actually getting results because there's so many different methods when it comes to dog training on YouTube and stuff like that.
Now, if you're listening out there today, folks, and your dog is holding you hostage, imagine this scenario for a second. Imagine that your dog is actually coming to you when you call for it. I mean, imagine that your dog is actually now no longer holding you hostage. Imagine that your dog is around squirrels and other animals, and your dog is still paying attention to what you're asking it to do. Imagine that you can have a dog that will actually do what you want it to do, as opposed to holding you hostage. I think this is a big thing, because I think anybody out there if you've ever owned a dog and your dog has jumped on people when they visit your house, if you have a dog that's ever used the restroom constantly in your home, it can be embarrassing, it can be frustrating. Imagine you have a dog that's out there doing counter surfing, or it's trying to eat off the table. Imagine what it would be like to no longer have a poorly behaving dog. I'd love to get your thoughts on this, JT, because I think a lot of people have a dog that's excessively barking, a dog that's chasing neighbors, and a dog that's just very difficult to live with. Walk us through how transformative it can be when you are able to properly train a dog.
Yeah, well, I'll give you an example with my personal dog. So my dog's name is Achilles, and he's a Belgian Malinois. I got him from a lady in Houston, Texas, who trains dogs for movies, and she recently got married. And her husband was like, hey, I want to train dogs too. So they got 5 Belgian Malinois, all from the same litter. They shipped them from France, and they kept Achilles specifically because they wanted to use him to train. And then 3 weeks in, her new husband was like, this is way more work than I thought it was going to be. And so I found out about it. I was like, oh, I need that dog. So I had that dog. I had Achilles for 2 weeks before training, because I was like, you know what? It's been 2 weeks. I'll give you a little bit to adjust to the new home and that environment. In those 2 weeks, he was just a nutcase. So not only like on the way back from Houston, I'm driving back to Tulsa. I stop at a hotel. I stop and get Taco Bell. So this is in no way a nutritional podcast, but I stopped and got Taco Bell. And Clay, how dogs beg. Achilles doesn't beg; he just takes. So I went to put the burrito in my mouth, and he just took it out of my hand and ate it in under 2 seconds. So, and then he would, at my house, I have a 6-foot fence. He would, it's wood, and he would pry at the bottom of it and just break it off and then get out. And then he learned he was a Belgian Malinois, and he would now start clearing the fence and going over it. And he tackled my neighbor's little white dog while they were going for a walk. And while my car said dog trainer on it, so I was like, well, that's great advertising. And then we went and I took him over to show him to my grandma and my family because he's a cool looking dog. He jumped on my grandma and knocked her over. And I had to catch her before she hit the ground. And she was like, some dog trainer you are. And I was like, okay, well, I haven't started, Grandma, but noted. I understand. And so, and that was going on for 2 weeks where he was just a monster.
Wow.
He was humping any dog he saw. He was growling and barking at dogs. He was just jumping on everyone. He was a nutcase. He's an untrained Belgian Malinois. And now I started training him, and after 4 weeks of training him, he comes when called every time. He walks right next to me on the leash, so there's no pulling. He doesn't jump on grandma anymore, so he's able to be around kids, grandma, whatever. He doesn't clear the fence. He doesn't chase rabbits. He doesn't try to murder squirrels. And he's an awesome dog now, but he would have been a nutcase and would have been just a monster to live with if he was untrained.
Now, you have a process that you offer, a method, a game plan. Walk us through, what does that first lesson look like for our listeners out there that may be leery of scheduling that first lesson? What does that first Tulsa dog training lesson look like, and how much does it cost?
Yeah, so the first lesson is 50 cents. And what that looks like is we're going to come out, we're going to talk to you about your dog and your goals and figure out what it's going to take to get your dog to your specific goals, because every dog is different, and every human is different, and everyone's goals are different. So we're going to figure out, and we're going to tailor a package direct specifically for your dog. And then we're going to tell you more about us. We're going to train your dog in front of you so you can see that we're a good fit. And then we have either one-on-one lessons where it's half dog training, half human training, or we have boarding school where the dog comes and stays with us. And then at the end, the dog just knows everything. No matter what, it's a money back guarantee. And you get a group class for the rest of the dog's life, because we want to be there for you forever, not just, hey, it's been 2 weeks, here's Fluffy, may the odds be ever in your favor.
Now, as far as the most commonly asked questions by dog training customers, could you walk us through that? I mean, what are the common questions that people ask you the first time you meet them, the first time you sit down with their dog? What are those most commonly asked questions?
Yeah, well, a lot of times they ask, should we use a harness? Do we need to use a prong collar or a choke collar? What kind of leash should we use? Is it okay if my dog sleeps in my bed? Can my dog have treats? What kind of treats? What toys are acceptable for my dog to play with? Is my dog actually trainable? Is my dog too old? Is my dog too young? Now, that's a bunch of the different questions that we have.
And those are all questions that you'll be happy to answer during that first lesson. So I encourage everybody out there, go to makeyourdogepic.com for this makeyourdogepictulsa.com for board and training, for one-on-one dog training, for group dog training, for dog training classes, and to schedule that first dog training lesson. Again, that's makeyourdogepic.com. JT, I'm going to give you the final word there, because so many of our listeners out there are looking for a puppy training school they can trust. They're looking for that dog training obedience class that they can trust, and they're looking at a lot of different options. What's that final word of encouragement you want to share with all of our listeners out there?
Yeah, I've had a bunch of people who they were borderline ready to give their dog away, or their dog would have been euthanized or put down. And then we came out in under 3 to 4 weeks. Now the dog's listening, it's coming when called, and it's a completely different dog. So it still has all of its personality, and it's still the same dog, but now it listens. So basically, Same dog, but now it's all ears, as we like to say at Make Your Dog Epic.
Now, JT, as we typically like to say, we'll call you back in 5 minutes. But on today's show, we're going to call you back in about an hour. Appreciate you carving out time for us today. And again, that's makeyourdogepic.com. We appreciate you, sir. We'll talk to you about an hour.
Awesome.
Do you need to have your dog professionally trained? Do you need your dog to stop barking at the neighbors? Do you want your dog to stop going potty in the house? Do you want to have an epic and well-trained dog at an affordable price? What makes the Make Your Dog Epic dog training experience unique? At Make Your Dog Epic, your first dog training lesson is just 50 cents, which is less than $1. Make Your Dog Epic is home to the highest rated, most reviewed dog training company in the area. At Make Your Dog Epic, we will beat any competitor's price for similar services. At Make Your Dog Epic, we offer a money-back guarantee. So if the training doesn't work, we never blame you or the dog, it's always our fault. At Make Your Dog Epic, we offer the fastest turnaround time in the industry. That way you can start enjoying time with your epic dog as soon as possible. At Make Your Dog Epic, when you schedule that first lesson with us, we automatically enter you in for a chance to win a dream vacation to Hawaii. Whoa! Which is a lot like Oklahoma, except the weather's different. There's beaches, palm trees. But if you'd rather go to Oklahoma, we can do that as well. How does the Make Your Dog Epic training experience work? When you fill out that form on makeyourdogepic.com, we are going to call you and schedule that first lesson for just 50 cents, which is less than $1. We are going to meet you for that first lesson. That way we can tell you what it's going to take to get your dog to your goals. Because every dog's different and everyone's goals are different. We'll either do one-on-one lessons where it's half dog training, half human training. I'll let you guess which one's harder. Or we're going to do boarding school, where you send your dog with us and we take care of all the homework for you. No matter what you do, we're going to make sure everything transfers to you. Because it's pretty pointless if we get your dog to listen to us, but no one else in your family. Disclaimer, currently we do not offer a service that will get your in-laws to listen to you. You will receive unlimited ongoing group class for the remainder of your dog's epic life. That's because we want to be there for you and your dog forever. We never want you to have to use another trainer after training with us. Our goal is to teach obedience, but never at the expense of the dog's personality, because if we get your dog to listen, or we have to crush its spirit in the process, what's the point? Our motto is it's the same dog, but now it's all ears. You'll now have a well-behaved dog that you can walk or jog with without it channeling its inner sled dog and pulling you down the street. You will have a dog that won't bark at the neighbors or potty in the house. You will be entered in for a contest to win a dream trip to Hawaii that we will be giving away every January. Pow wow whoa, yippee-oh, yippee-yay. Take that first step and schedule that first 50-cent lesson at makeyourdogepic.com. Makeyourdogepic.com.
I know you're gonna dig this.
Let's go now. Let's go now. Here we go now.